How many of you have a grandiose narcissist in your life or in your family tree? For me, I have two grandiose narcissists in my family. Number one, and the main stem of it, is my narcissistic mother. Because she always thought and always carried herself like she's better and superior to anybody. Um, and another person, of course, which I know that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, is my golden child sister. She is also a grandiose narcissist. And the rest of the flying monkeys that are in my narcissistic family, yeah, to some extent they are. But I know that when my narcissistic mother, whenever she leaves this earth, I know it's going to be the golden child narcissistic grandiose golden child sister of mine is going to continue to carry on my narcissistic mother's legacy of being a grandiose narcissist. So, what are the kind of behaviors, thoughts, and attitudes of a grandiose narcissist? Well, let's see if any of these that you can kind of relate or have seen, observed, or even experienced from your own grandiose narcissist in your life, whoever that person or persons may be. So here's some of the examples of their attitudes. Don't hate me because I have all this hair and you know who you are. Because you have short hair and you look like a dude. Or here's another one. I must be doing something right to get a fan club of people who watch and do what I say. Thanks, fan club. Please revert back to my pic of me on my throne with my shoes that cost more than your entire wardrobe. Please revert back to that. Thank you. Then here's another example. I don't associate with anybody below my social status. It's more like, hey, I have a Mercedes Benz, I have a $500,000 house, I got money in the bank, I'm high up working for a bank, and if you're not that status, I don't want to talk to you. How many of you can kind of relate to that? Oh, look what I have. I'm better than you because I shop at Henry Bendel. See all the purses I have? Take those pictures and show them on Facebook just to show the world what I have. Ooh. Here's my Henry Bendel bag in case you don't believe me. Or only low class people shop at a thrift store. Thrift stores are nothing but hand-me-downs for the low class. How many of you can relate to that kind of attitude? And there's many more attitudes, of course, but these here are some that I've experienced, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe any one of my viewers out there have experienced any of this. So what is a grandiose narcissist? A grandiose narcissist, all in a nutshell, is somebody who really thinks that they are better than anybody else. It's like if you're not at their so-called status level, financial level, then it's like you're beneath them and they can just sit there and just snub their nose and look down on you like you're a piece of shit or you're like dirt on their shoe type of mentality, you know. And they're very insensitive. They don't care whose feelings they hurt, even their own friends. They don't care, you know. But they continue to have those friends because they admire what this Grandiose Narc has. So they just kind of kiss up to them, kiss their asses, just to have a friendship, you know. Your Grandiose Narcissist are extremely overconfident and very, very cocky. They have a sense of superiority, which is very unrealistic. They will seek revenge or go into a rage if not treated like they're royalty or dare to give this Grandiose Narcissist person any type of negative feedback. So it's basically if you tell them what you think of them, oh, they'll get into a real big hissy fit. They get very upset. It's like they get so offended and want you to apologize. Let alone if they offend you, their attitude's fuck you. I'm just being blunt. So I'm being very, very blunt about that. So how does this Grandiose Narcissist stem from? With my experience, and many of you may have the similar experience that I have, or maybe you may know somebody, or you may just have that one person that is a Grandiose Narcissist. But I'll just share with you my experience, and that is my narcissistic mother is a very grandiose narcissist, very grandiose. You know, thinks she's better than anybody else, and you know, just because I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot about medical conditions, and I'm my own patient advocate. Now, this is way long before I went no contact with my mother, and when I used to go visit my narcissistic mother, and she would talk about certain medical conditions and things like that, and I have great knowledge of it, and I tell her what I know, and she just really looks down like, well, you're no doctor. Why should I believe you? You didn't go to medical school. What do you know about this condition? You have to be a doctor to know this. That's just so narrow-minded and small-minded. May I ask? May I tell you that? It's very small-minded. So, my narcissistic mother is really the real root of Grandiose Narcissist, and now her and when my late father was alive, of course, you know, and as the golden child, sister of mine was growing up, they had treated her with such superiority above me and the rest of my other sisters. And it's really a shame that the rest of my other sisters are just too daggone blind to see it. So, but that's how the Grandiose Narcissist stems from. It stems from the Grandiose Narcissistic mother, or he could even come from an enabler. You know, it can come either way, but it's like that trait is just passed down, you know. And it's usually from what I see from my own experience, and maybe, like I said, your experience could be different, but from my experience, it stems from my narcissistic mother, and she's passing that grandiose narcissistic trait to her golden child, daughter. And believe me, my narcissistic mother really lives her life through the golden child daughter of hers. So that's how it stems from. Like I said, she was growing up. That's where this grandiose behavior of hers was developed. So your grandiose narcissists they appear to have a sense of they don't have a sense of shame, about themselves. So like if you were to shame a grandiose narcissist and say, I don't know if you were to shame them and say, well, you're the golden child, or uh, maybe even call them a bitch, you know, and they're like, well, yeah, I know I'm a bitch, I'm proud of it. Or even wear a shirt that says the golden child and really smile and say, I'm proud of it. They have no shame, which really, to wear that type of label, the narcissist has no right mind at all to know that it's really a stupidity label, but they think it's so cool. So, really, they're very, very small minded and narrow minded people. You're a grandiose narcissist. That's their mentality. And here's another one. Here's another characteristic that they always pride themselves, or I should say, they pride themselves on how many people they see, how wonderful and so grand they are, and so so beautiful, and beauty and brains, and or nice designer clothes. Oh, they're wonderful. Or she drives a Mercedes Benz, or she drives a newest Honda. She's the shit. So they pride that, they like that, they feed upon people that kind of look up to these grandiose narcissists as their idol type of thing. So it's kind of like your grandiose narcissist has this type of thinking that there's some type of celebrity of some sort because they dress a certain way, they carry themselves a certain way, they drive a certain car, like a Beamer or a Benz, you know, something like that. That just, and a lot of people just say, oh, I like to be like this person, and these type of narcissists really, really feed off on that. So they really pride themselves and these people that think that they're so wonderful, and it's like, a grandiose narcissist, it's like their imaginary fan club that they have, and like I said, they act like they're some type of celebrity, and believe me, my golden child narcissistic sister is definitely a grandiose in this respect also. She has this so-called imaginary fan club, and so people like your narcissistic grandiose people, they lack any type of remorse or any type of empathy, and also that characteristic can really apply to any type of narcissist, not just your grandiose, but they don't care who they hurt. They don't care. They just don't care. They have no conscience, just like all the other types of narcissists out there. So they feel like that they're at such a high class, or they're at such a high standard, that they're so entitled to have their opinions about people that are below them. They're entitled to comment about how people below them, how they live their lives. They're people that are below them, they're the type of behavior. They're grandiose narcissists really just have that sense of entitlement that they can just really comment or have their own opinions about people that are below them, and criticize about you know they just criticize how the people below them, how they live, and their behaviors and their emotions. So they feel like they're so entitled to do that because they're so high and mighty. They have that that God effect, like they think they're God, and we all know better than that. That they're not God. So it's basically they want people below them to kind of worship them, and it's like you worship them, you worship these grandiose narcissists, or you face the ultimate penalty. The ultimate penalty. Yeah, really. Um, they You often wonder why do they even behave this way? Well, first of all, they hate to admit that they're not as high in the status quo, or they're not as high in status. I mean, it's like they know this, but they don't want other people to know that they're low in status. But they have to carry this facade, this persona like they are. To keep up with the Joneses. They buy the newest Apple phone, probably the newest Mercedes Benz, or they buy the newest style of Coach purse, or they wear the latest fashion trends, things of that nature. So because they don't want people around it, they gotta keep this certain standard, because now they got so-called an imaginary fan club, and they're so admired that they got to keep this facade up. And that's why they behave the way they do. They're very, very insecure people, and that's why they behave this way. They don't want anybody that could really see them for who they really are to really tear them down, tear down their glass tower. And believe me, I'm not afraid of tearing down the glass tower that my grandiose narcissistic golden child sister sits on. I'm not afraid at all, But like I said, she makes a very good example of this. And but like I said, they're very insecure. Your grandiose narcissists are very insecure. They like to keep up with the Joneses. Like I said, they like to keep up on the latest trends, fashions, electronic gadgets, you name it. They're there. And then, they're always wanting and desiring a certain type of attention, like that celebrity. How, like, the attention that a celebrity would get. So they want that type of attention. They desire that, and it's like a drug to them. They get high on that. So, um, and to me, like I said, narcissists never grow up well. Grandiose narcissists are no exception. They themselves never grow up, and they always will have this high school mentality of being a popular person, or the most popular person. I mean, you've seen those, like in your high school yearbooks, like whoever got voted to be the most popular person in your high school class, So that type of, that's why they act the way they act. So how do we handle this? Well, cutting yourself off and being no contact with the grandiose narcissist is always the best choice. Because the more you hang around this person, the more your self-esteem suffers, the more you lose sight of who you are. And you don't want that. Myself, even though I'm no contact with any of my narcissistic sisters, if I were to really run into one in out there in the streets, and I were to pass one of them, I would just laugh at them. Maybe look at them like they're not there, and maybe just bust out laughing and just shaking my head like, really? These grandiose people, also may I add, are very, very full of themselves. So, may I add that feature too. But you cannot let it in that you just don't give the attention that they desire, because they're not all that. They are not all that. They're scared souls. They really care about what other people think about them, but they just want to be around a certain type of people. They kind of live out their own expectations. Like, they live in a dream world that they wish that they're a queen, or that they're someone of high royalty, or or they're, like I said, some type of celebrity, and it's just a way of making themselves look and feel good, because really originally they don't feel good about themselves. So really, it's just that you just can't let their attitudes get to you. And it's like, basically, you don't let it in, you don't feed it, you don't do the things that's going to feed these grandiose narcs in your life. So if they want to go around parade around like their shit don't stink, you just gotta say, whatever, turn around and just walk the other way, and just don't feed it. Don't feed into it. Don't believe the things that they say. Don't believe their attitudes. You just gotta just not be around it, and don't let their bullshit in your heart and in your mind. You just don't react to it. And I know it's very easier said than done, but it's very doable. It's just, the thing is, you have to know who you are. Above all of what I just said, you have to know who you really are, and do not let the grandiose narcissist in your life make you think any different of who you are. As long as you know who you are, then you don't allow the effects of the grandiose narcissist in your life to affect you, or to define you of who you are. As long as you know who you are, that's all that matters. And you stay far, far away of them as far as possible. See them at the street, just pretend like, you didn't see them. Don't show any type of reaction like you saw them. That's really the best way to handle that. So, I thought I'd just, kind of just give you a video about what grandiose, excuse me, what a grandiose narcissist is all about. And in this video for now, I thank each and every one of you for watching. And if you like this video and any other videos I have, please share them to however way you like to. And if you like this video, please click on the the high thumbs up on it to indicate that you really like this video. And if you have any comments, please indicate those down in the comment box, or by all means, you can give me a private message either through through your Gmail account, or you give me a private message that way, or you can give it to me through my email at maryallen7079@yahoo.com. So this is Mary Allen signing off, and as always, I wish each and every one of you peace, keep trucking, and stay strong. Take care. Bye for now.